Hey guys, Jackson here with another dungeon guide video to Mhigo. This is a level 70 dungeon that's part of the expert roulette, so I hope you enjoy and you learn something. Also, to you Final Fantasy 7 fans, the first boss may look familiar. I hope you enjoy it, because I did when I first saw it. There he is, the first boss from Final Fantasy 7, Magitech Scorpion. Engage the boss as normal. His first move will be Magnetic Field. He'll jump up, fall down, and just do party-wide damage. Heal up and continue to DP it. Then, the boss will use Target Search, which will scan the area and put a ground AoE on 2 people. It'll also follow them till they go off. Just make sure it off them before the ground AoE locks into place and goes off. Also, when they go off, they will leave a ground AoE on fire, so stay away. Once that's done, the boss will move in the middle of the room and start casting Tail Laser, which will put 2 ground AoEs that come out the front and back of them. Just avoid these areas. The boss will then use Magnetic Field again, jump up, fall down, and just do party-wide damage. Heal up and continue to DPS him. After that, the boss will use Target Search again, this time selecting 3 party members, and he'll also cast Tail Laser right after, so move your Target Search into a safe area, leaving room for once they are locked down in place so that you have a safe place to stand away from the burning ground left behind from the Target Search and away from the Tail Laser he will use. Then he'll use Tail Laser again with another Target Search. So now you have to place a Target Search in an area again that will leave you room for once they go off. So you have a safe place to stand away from Tail Laser and away from the other burning marks on the ground. After, he'll use Magnetic Field 3 more times, space over 10 to 15 seconds. So you pretty much should be able to kill the boss before he goes another round of Target Search. If he does, then just make sure that when you are Target Search, you are moving away from the Tail Laser and making sure that Target Search drop in safe places so you have room to avoid everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The fight will be over, and congrats. As you can see here, we just got through that 3rd magnetic field and he's just getting a scan up, but we're able to get him down right before it happens, so it's doable. Alright, the second boss, Alice. Engage the boss like normal, and after a few moments, he'll use Mana Burst, which will do AoE damage to everyone in the party. Just quickly heal everyone up and continue. After Mana Burst, he'll use a move called Order to Charge, which will place turrets on the ground. After the turrets have been placed, he'll use Order to Fire, which will make the turrets shoot 3 ground AoEs. Just run out and avoid them. After that, the boss will spawn 3 large rings. Either run to them or away from them, just try not to stand in that middle ground to avoid them. After the rings are gone, the boss will go to the center room and use Magitech Disruptor, which will pull everyone in the middle of the room and stun you. Then he'll use Mind Jack, which will put a clone of you on the outside ring of the map. Also, there will be turrets along the outside of the map, which will shoot blue lines, and claws will spawn. The goal is to make it back to your body without getting stunned by the blue lasers and not being grabbed and knocked back by the claws. You can't use sprint either, you just have to get there and walk slowly. It's kind of a pain. After you make it back to the body, you'll get up, quickly kill the claws while still avoiding the blue lasers because they will still stun you. Once everybody gets back to their bodies, the boss will start attacking again. At this point, you just still want to focus the claws down and then focus the boss. At this point, he will use Mana Burst, which will do AoE damage to the party. Right after, he uses Order to Charge, which will place 3 turrets off the ground. Then Order to Fire, which will do 2 things now. First, the turrets will blow up, so stay away from them. Also, the boss will cast a medium range AoE ring, so just run to the outside to avoid both. After, everyone will be marked with red arrows and will be pulsing AoE around them. Then he'll use Demi Magics, which will put rings all over the place. Just find a safe spot, but don't stack each other, because your ground AoE will go off, and if you're stacked, you will kill each other. Right after that, he uses Mana Burst, which will do large AoE damage to the party, just heal up. Once that's done, you should be able to just burn the boss down and it should be over. You shouldn't run into any more mechanics. And that's it. Boss fight's over. Alright, time for the third boss, Xenos. Now he's got 3 swords and they each do different things. And he'll do them at random, there's no order to it. The first one that could come up is he'll glow green around him, and that means you're going to want to stack on him. And once that happens, he'll push everyone back, and if you're not close enough, you'll hit the outer ring and take a debuff. The other one is he'll be going blue, which is kind of the opposite. You don't want to stand on top of him, you just want to stand just outside the blue glowing area. And the third one's red. You can be at any range, but the trick with this one is you want to be spread out, because it'll shoot 4 lines, so it'll go to 1 to each party member, and if you're stacked, you'll just take 2 hits instead of 1, or 3 hits instead of 1. So the first sword he uses is the blue one, so you just want to stand outside of the blue AoE area, and you won't take any damage. After the first mechanic, he doesn't do very much for quite a while, so this is a good time to pop your cooldowns and go ham. This time you pull out the green sword. You're going to want to stack up, because once the cast timer goes off, it's going to push everyone back. And if you're not close enough, you're going to get knocked into red and just take a debuff. Right after that, he'll pull his red sword, so just spread out so you don't overlap the damage. After that, Xenos will put 4 clones of him on the ground. First, what will happen is an AoE will spawn around him, and then as soon as that blows up, each clone will have an AoE around him, so you just want to find a safe spot on the map to avoid all the AoE damage. After all that, Xenos will jump to somebody and tether to them. All you're going to want to do with this tether is just aim it away from the center of the map so that the large frontal cone AoE doesn't take up the whole map and kill everybody. After that mechanic's done, you'll have a large window of DPS again, so just pop everything and go ham. After a bit, the boss will use a large AoE pulse damage, so it'll hit everybody, so just heal everybody up and just continue to DPS. After that, the boss will go to the middle room and use one of their 3 swords. We got the greens, we all stacked, so we didn't get knocked back into the red outer ring to take any extra damage. Shortly after that, the boss will use another large AoE group damage, so healers, just be ready to heal everybody up. After that, he's going to spawn his clones again. This time his clones are going to tether to two people, and then on top of that he's going to do one of his 3 swords. We got his knockback, so with the tethers you're still going to want to stack in the middle, because by the time it knocks you back the tethers will go off and the large AoE cones will be facing out. But if you got anything else, you're going to have to remember that you need to point those tethers to the outside of the ring. If not, when they're pointing in, there's a good chance your party is going to wipe. Right after that, he's going to use another sword. The one that we got was the red one, so we had to stay spread out to avoid taking multiple lines of damage. After that, the boss will go in the middle room and put a barrier on him, which will make him immune to attacks. Also, he'll throw his 3 swords on the ground. They all do their same effects, so what you want to do is when this green one's going, you want to run to the green one so that when you get knocked back, you don't get knocked into the red outer ring. Then you're going to start DPSing them. I would suggest killing the green one first, since that one's going to make you have to move and avoid being knocked out. Once that one's done, I would do the red one, because that one will do the damage to all party members if you're not spread out. And then I would save the blue one for last, because as long as you're not in it, it won't do damage to you, so it's the easiest one to avoid. Also, there's an energy bar that the boss will slowly be pushing up. The longer the swords are out, the faster the bar will go up. Once the bar reaches its maximum capacity, you lose the fight, which I have never seen happen anytime I've ever done this fight. It's really easy to do this part of the fight. Once the swords are dead, the boss will absorb the energy of all the swords and do his special move. So the lower the gauge bar, the less damage it does. Once he's done his attack, you're going to want to use your LB2 right away, just to get that out of the way and do as much damage as you can. Also, for the remainder of the fight, he's going to be doing his AoE pulse damage. And throughout the rest of the fight, every time he casts it, it does more damage. So it's kind of like a DPS race check, but it's really easy to finish the boss off, especially with that LB2. This fight can be tricky due to the fact that he will always use his 3 swords, but it'll never be in the same order. So it could be green, blue, red, green. That's what kind of makes this kind of tricky and kind of hard to make a guide, because it's never the same. You'll always do something different in a different order with a sword. And that's it. Boss dead. Well, guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. If you would like me to do another video on a certain dungeon, just leave a comment in the comment sections and give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.